Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the EEARSS podcast produced by Terrier TV. I am Alligator Rob. I am joined, as always, by Bill and Cindy. Howdy, y'all. How's it going?
It's going well.
I like this shirt, Bill.
Oh, thank you. It's because it was cold this morning, so.
Yeah, my toes are still cold.
So
we're waiting to see if you're going to notice.
No,
that you guys are both in green?
Once again, we are wearing the same outfit.
She gets out of the car,
works. Yeah.
and I said, because what was it, a couple of weeks ago? I was wearing black, you were wearing black, and then we had, it's either blue or black.
Often.
I figured green wouldn't be, but no, you're wearing green.
No, it works, guys.
He walked up
good.
and I was like, really?
And I'm looking, I'm wearing, what?
So no, it looks good. Yeah, I think the green looks good.
So
on the blue background.
We'll have to include you in the email chain so you'll know.
I thought I was
what
including
we're
you guys in the email chain, and now I understand that I'm being left out in the last email.
You're definitely being left out.
It's pink next week, Frank.
Pink. We're doing pink.
Okay. I can dye a white shirt pink. I'm really good at that. I'm really good at this situation. I can make this happen.
Intentionally, you can make it happen?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, intentionally. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Cool.
I can say it was intentional at least. I probably already have some of those.
Okay, I got something I want to talk about just real quick. I was reading where there's a lab in Boston who has made a COVID strain that is 80% fatal.
What?
Why?
Yeah.
What?
Well, that's my thing. As one of the things I tell kids.
Wasn't that the argument in the first place that it was man-made, and now they're actually making one that was worse?
Yeah, but I'm telling kids,
get your vaccine.
I tell it to seniors.
No,
I tell it to seniors. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And I think this is a beautiful illustration of why.
Well, you do realize that that's probably happening behind closed doors.
Oh, yeah.
All the time with every kind of virus.
Well, and here's the other. Why did they all of a sudden say, well, let's go tell people about it?
So
thank you, because I wasn't sure yet what my nightmare that would keep me up tonight would be, and now I know.
Thank you. Now I've given that to you.
Yeah, I figure it's all our time when it's our time.
Well, yeah.
But I'd like to be around for a few more minutes at least.
Yeah.
So there's different types of amphibians that under their skin they naturally carry viruses and things. Mm-hmm. And there was research being done with Cuban tree frogs that showed that they carry, I think it was the rhinovirus or something, the common cold or something under their skin. So it was something we were always joking about. Somebody's going to weaponize frogs or something.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Did not give anybody any ideas. We just when I flashed, you all forgot what was going on.
Yet another nightmare. Great.
Are you scared of frogs?
Okay. Am I scared of specifically tree frogs? And I have a problem.
Really?
Why? I don't know that I'm scared of them. I like them from afar.
They jump out.
They like jumping.
I love it.
Always.
I
right
love
on my
walking
face.
outside in the middle of the night and having a tree frog, no shirt on, and a tree frog is slammed right at my chest. It's the funniest thing in the world.
We have very different reactions to that, Frank.
You're a weird guy, Frank.
Well, you knew this all along, Mr. Curtis.
Yes, I did.
I get a chuckle out of odd things. I go, it's a frog. Frog.
And poor Sydney's screaming, frog.
Yeah. So, funny story. Speaking of weird things happening.
Okay.
Yesterday, I'm out in the field, out in the middle of nowhere, working, doing research on one of the properties we're working on. And, I came across a pygmy rattlesnake, came across all kinds of different cool critters. And I'm driving out of the area, and I look down at my floorboard, and I'm like, there's a flipping snake coming out of my dash. I'm like, I start laughing. I'm like, it's a red rat snake. He's hanging out of the bottom of my dash. And I'm like, I had my windows down the whole time I'm out. I'm going, bro, of all people's trucks to show up in, I'm like, this is pretty flipping cool. So I go to reach for him, and he goes up in the dash. And I'm like, well, that's not cool. Okay, this went from being fun to being a giant pain in the backside pretty fast. So I call Ernie, my buddy Ernie, who's a mechanic. Ernie happens to be deathly afraid of snakes. And I said, Ernie, how much do you love me? And he said, I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love me? And he said, 11. And I said, okay, I'm fixing to come by and see you and ask you for some help on something, and you're not going to like it. And he said, okay, come on over. And you can imagine what he's probably thinking. By no means is it anything like this. And I pull up, and he goes, what's going on? I showed him a picture on my phone. I said, that's what's going on. He goes, get that thing out of here. And I said, listen, buddy. I'm like, what else do you want me to do? Can you at least tell me how to take the dash apart? And I'll do it myself. And he said, get out of the way, Frank. And I said, okay. So he starts pulling things apart, and he opens up the glove box, and the thing's tail's hanging out, and he almost runs me over. Ernie's a very big guy, and he nearly tramples me. And I'm like, dude, pull it together for a second. He's not gonna. That's just his tail. And I tried to grab it, and of course he went further up in there. So we pull my entire dashboard apart. I mean, everything. There's all of it. I'll show you a picture. There's nothing left but metal. It's all gone. Instrument cluster, everything. It's all gone. And there's no snake. We can't find him anywhere. And Ernie's sitting there, and he's going, man, I wonder where this thing's at. And he looks over the side of him, and he goes, what's that blue cube? And right about the side of him, he said that it was a blue cube that they have blue spacers that keep the headliner spaced. Okay. And about that time, half the snake falls out in his lap. And he came unglued, of course, and ran off, but we were able to get the snake out. And it's like a 5-foot red rat snake.
I don't know.
It was a good time.
Cindy, I don't know if you remember, but Ernie was the other part of our trivia team. That night.
Ernie's a big guy.
Ernie was there.
Yeah, Ernie's
so sweet.
Ernie's the big teddy bear. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Good, but deathly afraid of snakes. Oh my garage. So that was exciting.
So.
Well, I don't know. It is what it is. There's better things to worry about. Although those are holes in my hand from snakes. But so you guys want to get into today's guest?
Yes, we should.
I would love to.
Yes,
we should.
That was
if we haven't scared her away yet.
Yeah.
Normally our go-between doesn't take quite that long, but we all had some pretty interesting stories going on. It kind of just worked out that way today. So today on the podcast, we are joined by Miss Krista Miller, who is the principal of Astronaut High School. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm honored to be here, but I am deathly afraid of snakes. So,
do you have a snake story?
You came to the right place.
What got you deathly afraid of snakes? Because
primal knowledge.
No, most people have like a thing, like they had a sibling that tossed one on them, or they were in a shower sometime and one fell out of the shower curtain, or maybe not the shower curtain, but you get my idea. It's Sandy. Sandy's losing it. Everybody has a story.
We're stockpiling your nightmares for the whole week. We've got them all lined up.
Ahead of the game.
So there's probably too many of them. But as a child, I watched Rescue 911, and that was like my favorite show to watch. And one of the episodes, there was a little toddler walking around, and they showed the snake coming at the video camera to bite the child. And from then on out, when I lived in Wendover Farms, so
you guys had Diamondbacks, yeah,
and we would have woods in between our friends' houses. We'd have trails and go back and forth, and I would sit and count down and then just run as fast as I could. Now I don't run real fast, but I would run as fast as I could. But it is so bad. I have nightmares all the time, and have made my husband strip the sheets in the middle of the night looking for a snake because I had a dream about it, and I was for sure we had a snake in our bed.
So
we apologize to him in advance for what's going to happen tonight.
Exactly. Yes. Sorry about that.
I have helped people get through fears like that. So I've had people approach me and say, "Hey, look, I've got this fear. I've got kids. I know it's an irrational fear. I don't want to pass it on to them. Can you help me out? Can you just bring some giant snake over to my house?" I'm like, that's not the way that works, guys. You start off with maybe some pictures of some snakes and talking about them, and then maybe you start off with a snake that's like the size of a pencil.
Like a ringneck.
Yeah, it's something real small, and you wrap your head around that and give it some time, and then you work yourself up to a rough green snake or something. But there's no reason to make it worse than that. But if it's something you ever want to get past, let me know.
My heart's racing right now. My husband has told me I need help, though. So I may reach out for that.
I'm being dead serious,
I had a friend in college who had one. I have no clue what kind it was because I wasn't too interested. But it was about this big, and it wasn't that big. And she let me hold it one time, and I thought, I can do this. And she handed it to me, and she put it on my fingers. I'm like, you got to take it. Yeah, it's not, but my kids love them, so.
It's one of those things, that really it's since the beginning of time. You go take it back to the Adam and Eve time. As soon as the serpent showed up and started talking, there you go. You got a bad rap. It's a spooky critter to think about talking to you.
I mean, I can deal with frogs, lizards, snakes. Mm-mm.
Well, if you want to get past it sometime, let me know. Yep, I'll work with you and your husband, and I'm telling you. You won't even have it on your mind anymore. Legit. But anyhow, I digress. I try to use that word at least once a week. I digress. Yeah, I digress. So tell us a little bit about you and your journey to where you're at now, and a little bit about Astronaut High School.
Absolutely. So I was born and raised here in Titusville. I come from a family of educators, and so I was truly born into the profession. And it's something that I truly love. I went to college, got a degree in finance because I was going to do something different. My freshman year, I realized I'm going to go into teaching, but I'm still going to go ahead and get this other degree just to have a fallback plan. 18 years later, almost, here I still am, loving every minute of it. But I actually graduated from Titusville High School here. I don't have too much royal blue left in my closet, though. As you can see, I did not wear green. I wore my maroon. This is what you
made the right
normally
choice.
see me in.
You made the right choice.
But
Cindy,
I started teaching at Jefferson Middle School and then had the opportunity to go to Viera when it opened. And I had an assistant principal at Jefferson who then went to Viera, Bobby Pruitt, who came down and knocked on my door one day at Jefferson and said, have you ever thought of going into administration? And I looked at him and I said, have you been talking to my father? And he didn't know who my dad was. But because my father was an assistant principal here and my sister is an assistant principal at Space Coast. So it truly runs in the family. I married a teacher. And my daughter for career day every year wants to be a principal.
Wow.
And so so it's truly a calling. From Viera as a teacher, I went to Merritt Island High School where I was an assistant principal for 5.5 years before I became principal at Astronaut High School. And I could tell you never in a million years did I believe that I would be the principal at Astronaut High School because I was raised in this school.
Right.
And so I love every minute of it, though. It's such an amazing community. And we are truly supported by our families, our community partners. Being an inside school just has a whole different feeling to it. We've got about 1,100 students, and we go all the way to the county line. And so it's a very diverse group of students that, but it very much still has the family atmosphere. I get to work with your brother every day. He keeps us safe over there as our security specialist. But Astronaut is celebrating its 50th year this year. So we're very excited to have just some different celebrations planned. And we have 2 accelerated academic programs. We have an AP Academy for Advanced Placement Academy, and we have the AVID program. Both of them are college prep programs. We have 2 career academies with our Fine Arts Academy as well as our Health Science Academy. Similar to Titusville, they also have those programs. And then we have a really amazing welding program. It's only in its 2nd year. We have construction. We have digital media, a new entrepreneurship program. And we're, as you know, you're helping us out with our drone program that we have with 2 of our certified teachers as pilots for those. Yep. We had some students that went out to California last year to get some hands-on experiences. So truly there's something for everyone there.
Yeah, very excited about that drone research too. That is really neat stuff. Yeah, so we're going to be covering all the ill properties one at a time, looking at different things. They have students that want to look at different types of plants. So plants from a drone give off different frequencies of light depending on what kind of plant it is. So you can actually identify them from the air. You can look at open areas and all kinds of cool stuff. But we're talking about doing some 3D mapping of the different properties, and it's some pretty awesome science.
It is. It's amazing. And the students they take off with it. They're so far above us. I mean, even the teachers who started this and then brought them on board last year when they went to California, they were flying them on their own by the last day. And we're just sitting there like, how are you doing this? They have that confidence, but they have that inquiry to just, I want to know more. I want to know more. I want to know more. And I know they're going to make a difference here on the East Coast.
There you go. You mentioned something I wanted to bring up, and you got to tell me about this dynamic. So you and your sister are both principals. She's an assistant principal. You're a principal. Mm-hmm. Your dad was an administrator for a very, very long time. You guys ever have things you bounce off each other, or does he come and give you guys some knowledge and different things that happen to him and way to approach his thing? I mean, you guys kind of bounce ideas off each other a lot?
Absolutely. Because in this profession, you've got to be able to use other people's ideas. We're not competing against each other because we're in this for the same thing for our student opportunities. So we definitely bounce ideas off of each other. I will say, though, things have changed a lot just with program offerings and different ways that we approach students with more keeping social emotional more in mind. And so
that's such a unique opportunity.
We always tell my dad, though, yeah, that's not the way it is anymore, though. And so he says I feel old.
How long has he been out of teaching or out of the school system now?
Yeah, he retired in May of 2007.
Okay, wow.
So, because my husband, who's now my husband, we started dating in October of 2007, and he was teaching here. And so my dad had just retired, and I was like, well, that worked out well.
Yeah, I'd say. So tell us a little bit about where you see things at Astronaut going from here. You guys got big plans, big things you want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. We're in our 5th year of an AVID school, which is advancement via individual determination. And it's really looking at students who may not have all of the resources in front of them to begin with. And so they may not be individually driven that they want to go to college, or that they have the ability or realize they have the ability, resources, financial support at home to be able to do so. And so the AVID program grabs those students and provides structures and supports all 4 years. It's a 4-year program, so they take AVID 1, 2, 3, 4, and really hones in on the best study skills. They have them apply for colleges. They go on college field trips. They do all the applications, and so there's no barriers. It essentially knocks down all of the barriers to continuing in post-secondary. And so that program in itself has truly increased our options for students outside of school, especially because we're so multi-generational. I mean, look at us. We're back and here, and very multi-generational community. And so we want to cultivate the next generation of our community. And so the AVID program is really doing that. We do strategy school-wide because our goal is to make sure that every student is college and career ready when they graduate. And so they decide with their family what is best for them at the next step, the college level or going into an industry certified career. We just want to make sure they have the skills where they would be able to live and support a family going into the next step of their chapter in their life. And so it's all based off of writing, inquiry, collaboration, organization, and reading, all skills that are transferable, college to career. And the student success has been outstanding. We've had the 2 graduating classes so far, and it's just great to watch.
Wow.
That's amazing. Yeah. I didn't know the schools were doing that.
So we're the only school in the north that has AVID, but they are all over Brevard County, and it's a national program. But it truly is amazing. The structures that they put in place. Madison, we're the only high school, I should say. Madison, also our middle school feeder, it has AVID as well. So the students kind of transition from one to the other. But it's empowering the students and realizing I can do this. I do have the tools. I can go to college. I can get financial support. And it's just the opportunities beyond high school is amazing. It's industry certifications, and I know that's one thing here at Titusville that they excel in, is their rate of industry certifications for students. Same thing. So we have industry certifications that students can graduate and go directly into a career that's going to make a sustainable living situation.
Speaking of which, I want you to tell me more about your welding program.
It's incredible. You have to come see it. Like, it's truly hard to explain without coming to see it. So our teacher, Bob Kanker, he was hired for the position right before school started. He lived in Claremont. He drove for an entire year from Claremont to Astronaut and back to Claremont because he loved it so much. Mm-hmm. He celebrated a birthday that starts with a 7 a couple of years ago. You would not believe it. You'd think he's 25 years old.
Wow.
And he has built a passion in those students that I had to sub the class one time. I was scared to death. I was like, somebody's going to, cut a finger or solder a finger off, weld a finger off, the whole thing. And what he has empowered those students to do, they're going directly into internships, making way more money than we would ever hope to make after 4 years of college. He has so many business partners, but you go in and the kids are welding. They're welding every day, and there is no, okay, guys, we got to get to it. We got to go weld. No, they're running in there, changing clothes, and going straight to the welding stations. We have 12 welding stations, and we have like a classroom set up, 12 welding stations, and then an area for sanding and whatnot. But it's so incredible. They've made things for our school. They're making some gates for the Brevard County Sheriff's Department. So it's really, the word is getting out now that Astronaut has welding, and people are like, excuse me, can we utilize your students? But I mean, it's truly hands-on experiences for those students. And then they're saying, okay, now we want to hire you, and we need welders like no other. And so the students are totally excelling in that. They're joining the local unions to go directly into positions.
Oh, that's
but you
great.
got to come see it. I invite you anytime to come over.
Okay.
That was one of the funnest things I did when I was here at THS, whenever they were just starting to open up that in between Titusville and BCC thing back in the day.
Right.
I took welding classes, and that was probably some of the coolest stuff I did. Yeah, it was really neat. Yeah,
and
very worthwhile.
It's truly run like a business when you go in there. And it's some of your most unassuming students who haven't found that connection in any of their other classes. Mm-hmm. And so that is what keeps those students in school and excelling and graduating because they can get that certification. And I walked in the day that I was subbing. One of the students was right there already taking roll. He was handing out the safety glasses to everybody. And he was telling, no, you're not going to do that just because she's in here. That's not the way we run things. And so
what a sense of responsibility these
absolutely
kids
and we're talking 17 and 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
There are two parents I called afterwards when I got back to my office because I just wanted to tell their parents like what an incredible job they did. So I picked up the phone and I called and I said, "Hi, this is Krista Miller, principal at Astronaut High School. How are you?" And they're like, "Oh gosh, what did they do?" And I'm like, no. So it's incredible. Come see it, please.
You said you went from Vieira to Merritt Island to where you're at now. So how has your leadership style changed between all that, and what have you grabbed from each piece that you've taken with you, and what have you kept with you?
Yeah, I have been so blessed with amazing leaders, and that truly has shaped me. I told you about Bobby Pruitt. He's currently the principal at Saturday High School. And then when I was at Merritt Island High School, Gary Schifrin, longtime Brevard Public School educator. The tradition and pride and spirit he had in Merritt Island was like no other. And there are so many things that I have stolen from him in that respect. And so Bobby was all about collaborative leadership, involving your teachers, involving everybody in the decision-making process. And then you go to Mr. Schifrin, who is so well-versed with the traditions. And so those are two things that I really try to utilize at Astronaut. It's already a community rich in tradition. We just had to really bring that back. One thing like the homecoming parade, they knew we did one of those at Merritt Island. It was on a smaller scale. Well, back in the day, Astronaut High School did one as well, and they stopped doing those in the 80s. And so the students were like, "Can we please do a parade? Can we please do a parade?" So I was bound and determined. I went before the city council to ask for their support to be able to shut down Garden Street, and we put on a homecoming parade 5 years ago, and it was incredible. The community comes out and celebrates, and now we incorporate all of our feeder schools. We just had our homecoming parade 2 weeks ago, and it was the best showing we've ever had. And there was not a single spot on Garden Street that did not have line to line of people. And so we had all different floats from our clubs and sports and programs. We showcased our homecoming court. Coach Diesel, the mayor of Titusville, was in the homecoming parade, and then all of our feeder schools. And so it's something for those younger students to look forward to. And I just want to create those memories for our high school students. Some of those rich old traditions that we take for granted, they find so much joy in that. And so I want to provide those same experiences, because we get stuck a little too much on technology sometimes, to say, hey, let's see our community and wave and throw candy and just have fun. And they had a blast. Came back, had a bonfire. It was awesome.
That is very special. Yeah,
that's cool. Well, special. I graduated from Satellite High way back, and we used to do that. We had a homecoming parade going all the way through town. Now it was Satellite Beach, so... but yeah, it was really cool back in the day. I just wondered, Garden Street, that's, that's a big ask. What made you think of Garden Street?
So that's where it was originally.
Okay.
Down Garden Street. So that's why we did Garden Street. And so we just start at the Publix parking plaza, and we go straight down to just past Dixie Crossroads. We turn left there at the 7-Eleven to Dre Field, and that's the end of it. Okay. And so it's a straight shot, but because it is Garden Street and it is a state road, we also have to go through quite a bit of hoops that we might have to discuss for future years, because it's quite a cost to be able to put. We have to, there's a certain number of barricades we have to put up for safety, right, and police officers. There's lots of side streets that we have to block off, and so we've talked about possibly moving it more along Dairy to War Eagle. It doesn't have that same feel, but to,
yeah,
that'd be a neat spot. That'd be a neat spot though too.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit more room there to hide people around. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So I gave you some homework.
You did.
Okay. So we do trivia every week. And this season I've been trying to give the homework to our guests to show up with. So do you have like a topic?
So because it's our 50th year anniversary, my topic is all about Astronaut High School. So we're going to do some Astronaut High School trivia.
Yes.
I have to give a shout out, though, to one of our astronaut graduates who has a long history at Astronaut. She's currently our guidance service professional and testing coordinator, Monique Story Muldowney. Her father, Dr. Ben Story. It was going to be one of my trivia questions, but there were so many others. Dr. Ben Story was our team doctor and volunteered, and our stadium is named after Dr. Ben Story.
Okay.
And Romy Taylor, who is his. Dr. Ben Story was the medical doctor, and Romy Taylor was the encouraging doctor to be there for like support and you can do this, the mental toughness. And so they made quite the pair.
I'm a little bit scared already, guys, just so you know.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Cindy, just so we know, Cindy was an astronaut graduate too.
No kidding.
Yes,
In what
Cindy.
year?
2004.
Awesome. Once a war eagle, always a war eagle.
Yes.
And she reminds us all the time.
We'll start talking astronaut and Titusville stuff, and she'll be like, "Hey, listen, like we're not saying anything bad about anybody." But she's always very guarding of astronaut. Yes.
Well, as I should be.
Yes, you should.
We should be sitting together.
Yes.
We really should be sitting together.
Cool Kids Club.
I've kind of gotten rid of all my royal blue stuff. I mean, I know it's where I graduated from, but I am maroon and gold through and through.
See, now that I'm announcing the Titusville High School football games, I just had to add to mine. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
All right. So we'll start with an easy one because I think that we could all be able to answer this one.
That's always scary when somebody says the question's easy.
Yeah. So where was War Eagle football played before Story Taylor Stadium was built in 2007?
Oh, I actually know this one.
What is Dre Field?
Indeed, it is.
Yes.
Dre Field,
ding, ding, ding. Great job. I was just going to start out.
Which is now what a
duck park.
Yeah, a duck park and it used to be the bus depot next door.
The bus depot's still there.
Is it? Okay.
Oh yeah, it's still
now
back
it's a
there.
very ducky park.
Yes.
Yep.
Super ducky park. Everybody drops all their ducks off the ducky park.
Yeah.
And leaves their ducks there.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like hundreds of ducks. Ducks getting hit by cars and all kinds of weird things. Yeah. Anyhow, sorry.
Are they still swimming in the pond?
Oh yeah, they're still swimming in the pond.
There's not there's not much room for anything to swim in the pond because it's kind of very overgrown. But yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. The ducks are doing fine. The ducks are fine.
So, Cindy, you're not allowed to answer this one because you're going to know the answer to this one. What was the name of the unique concave gathering place in the lower mall?
What is the lower mall?
I know this. What
is the lower? Is that that's the area downstairs?
Right, because so many people come to our school and they say this is like a mall, and it truly is. Upstairs,
downstairs.
So we call it the lower mall. So what was that name of that iconic?
See, I didn't know it was called a lower mall.
So do you know, Frank?
I have no idea.
It's the pit.
No. Oh,
it is
not
the pit.
The fishbowl.
Fishbowl's upstairs. That's the one that has all glass around it. So it's like being in the fishbowl. No, downstairs is the pit. And we had to fill in the pit a few years ago. It made a lot of alumni very, very upset.
Oh, did you really?
Wow.
But when they came in to do renovations, they were walking through and said, this is completely illegal right here.
Oh, yeah, ADA.
And they said, we have to get rid of it. And so we're like, no, that you don't understand. Like, this is huge. Like, every senior prank happens there. During our morning pep rallies, the band is in there. So they said, no, really. And we may or may not had a few people get hurt walking forward or like this and stumbled into the pit.
Yep.
So we had it tiled over, and our art teacher worked with our art students, and they designed tiles over top of the pit.
That's
and
awesome.
It's a bunch of eagles flying around.
I saw that.
It's a really neat.
I saw that.
So
I didn't know it
in
was a pit,
honor
though.
of the pit, they did a renovation of our cafeteria when this all happened, and so we call the downstairs cafeteria the pit stop. So it's still there. It was not my choice to fill in the pit, but
did you put like a time capsule there or anything?
No, we didn't, but that would have been a great
Frank,
idea.
you always come up with good ideas about
way after the fact.
way too many.
Where were
About
you
5
years
years later.
ago?
Yeah, way too late.
That was years ago, but let's jackhammer it open and put a time capsule in it.
All right, so keep going on.
Let's go.
How many previous principals has Astronaut had, and what are their names?
Oh God.
Oh, my garage. That was inappropriate on my garage.
Well,
I'm
let's
gonna
see.
guess.
There
I'm gonna guess 12.
Well, there was Abe Collinsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Was Abe the first one?
The first, yes.
He was the first. And then was Fred Bynum right after him?
He was. He was an assistant principal when it first opened and then became principal.
Well, see, I subbed at Astronaut when I first started teaching, and Fred, very kind to me.
Oh,
very
he's
kind to me.
amazing.
Yeah, he set me straight. I wanted a job there, and he explained to me why I didn't. And he was very, because it was a temporary job, and I had a temporary certificate, and he said, once you start that, the clock goes, and you're going to be in a bad way. And he was absolutely right.
Incredible
And,
family and role model. Even when I was younger, my dad being an assistant principal, they had a great relationship. And so
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember him growing up so many years.
Yeah, very
and
nice man.
Yes.
Very nice man. And then after him was Terry. Was it? No, it wasn't Terry. Who? Ooh.
Do you have a number of how many?
Well, if there's one in there, that would be 5.
I'm number 5.
Okay, yeah,
Wow.
5. So, whom?
Humphrey was number.
Do you know number 4?
then.
Do you
Terry-
number 4?
Terry Humphrey.
Okay.
Terry Humphrey was number 4.
So you're missing number 3.
Number 3. So between Fred Bynum and who was that? Oh, I know.
He drove the coolest cars you've ever seen.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Doctor.
Bobet. No, not Bobet.
He was area
Bobet.
superintendent.
Yeah, Bobet was. He drove
Uh-huh.
nice cars
Yeah.
too. He had those Corvettes. I don't know.
Dr. Michael Krupp.
Oh, that's right. That's
Mhm.
right.
Yep, I had no idea. Which one of those was your principal?
Dr. Krupp.
Oh, okay.
See, then why didn't you jump in?
I wasn't saving you.
Wow, this is a team game, Cindy. This is a team game.
World here.
I gave you Humphrey, but you already knew that one.
Yeah.
So.
Cindy hung you out to dry. Wow, that was rough. That's what I was fixing to say. I'm like, you have to know at least one of these.
He felt like he was going to get it, so I didn't want to be like, I knew it.
We're dressed the same. Come on, you gotta help me out. Gotta help me out.
Wow, Cindy, that was
It's
rough.
so rare that anyone's relying on me
Oh.
to know the answer.
No, I'm looking at you and I'm kind of going, at some point, is Cindy going to say something? Because I wouldn't.
No, I felt like he knew it, and then if I said it,
No.
he'd be like, I was getting ready to say that.
No.
No, always take
That
the
was-
always
that
take
was
the
still
glory if you
impressive,
can.
though.
Yeah.
You jump in.
Yeah, always take the glory if you can, Cindy. Okay, go for it. What's next?
Okay. Who was the first band director?
No idea.
No.
Not a clue.
David Ammerman.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
He was the
Okay, so according to Monique Muldowney, he was. So
he
I'm,
was
I'm
the
gonna go
first
with
You're gonna
because
go
he
with
was
that.
there. Like, isn't he still there, or
No.
didn't he just leave?
So he retired the year before I came.
Wow. So he was there a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, long time.
Wow.
What was the name of the choral group that performed in couples?
Choral group?
Mm-hmm.
Choral group.
Oh my God, Mr. Coppola will kill me.
He's still there.
Yeah, Coppola's still there. Yeah.
Were you one of these people? Were you one of these,
Not
Cindy?
one of those people, but I was in choir. Oh my God, I know this.
What's the
Oh
first?
my God,
What's the
kill
first
me.
letter?
Oh,
P.
First letter's P.
Kill me.
Cindy.
didn't Titusville have something similar to that? We had a thing with couples. When
Madrigals.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
Mr.
what
Coppola.
was it?
I'm
Cam-
so sorry.
We had madrigals and then
And the
Camerata
Camerata.
singers.
Yeah, that's right.
I was in Camerata.
Okay.
I don't remember any of that.
Clues?
Cindy, she's giving you a clue.
It's not working. Well, that's a peace sign.
The Peacemakers.
Oh.
Did you know that? Did you actually know
At
that?
some point in my life, I'm sure I did. But right now, I did not.
Listen, you
She
can
said
get
it
with,
like, that doesn't sound familiar at all.
well, you can get with all of your friends that you graduated with, and when your reunion's going to be coming up here in a couple of years, and you can be like, I know all these answers.
I know all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Where were you?
Yeah.
See?
What's wrong with
Yeah.
you?
Yeah. Why don't you know?
Wow.
I'm going to have angry messages later after this airs. Like, what is wrong with you?
Do you have a lot of people that watch this on your side?
I have no idea.
I hear people on my side talk about you on
Every
this all the
time people,
so.
like, one of my best friends did not know I was doing this until you tagged Susan the other day. And he messaged me and he's like, how did I not know this was happening? I was like, because you'd want to talk about it if I told you. And I don't like to hear myself. I am the biggest introvert. I don't know why. The fact that I show up every week still amazes me.
Mm-hmm.
But she's outstandingly good at it. So
there you go.
She is.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, no, people might listen to me. That didn't sound like
She
me.
gets identified on planes on the way to Iowa.
That's right.
Or
That's
whatever. Was it Iowa?
Utah. Come on, get the story straight.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Did you give him your signature?
No, she was.
I'm too awkward.
Let me see your cookie napkin.
I was just like, what's happening? What's happening?
Let me see your stroopwafel.
Yeah.
Give me your stroopwafel. I'm gonna sign your
Who's
stroopwafel.
behind me?
I was like, what just happened?
All right. Give us one more.
Okay. This is a tradition that I would love to be able to bring back, but I just don't think it's possible. But what was the location that graduating classes would paint class of in the year so huge that everyone would have to see it on the way into Astronaut? So what was the location of that?
On War Eagle Boulevard?
Absolutely.
Okay. I thought, is
Oh,
this
yeah.
a trick question?
I remember in the day it was always painted all
Yeah.
the way down.
Oh, yeah.
There was all different kinds of.
I was sad
stuff.
when they paved over it.
Mm-hmm.
And they won't let us paint outside there anymore.
No.
Really?
There are neighborhoods there now.
Well,
now people care.
Do you remember in Titusville they used to paint the roof of the gym? Back in your day.
What?
Remember, if you're coming in from
Legally?
Hopkins. Oh, no. It never happened legally.
I guess not.
No, and I don't think the War Eagle Boulevard stuff
That
happened
wasn't
legally
legal
either. But yeah, they used to paint the roof of the gym
Who's
Wow.
the?
with a class. Huh?
Who's the?
Who's the? What do
Yeah,
you mean?
they used to.
They.
Who are they?
The senior class.
the
They used to
students.
sneak in,
Nobody
get
ever
up on
told
the
me about any of this.
and do that. But now it's all a metal roof. You can't,
I
it's
brought
like a
snakes to class and all
giant
kinds of
slide.
weird things, but I never did that.
You never did
Of
that?
course you did.
No, I did. I had snakes in my pocket sometimes.
I'm so glad I didn't know.
I'm so glad we didn't have classes together that I knew of.
Oh Lord. You want to give us one more?
I did have one more.
Yeah, okay, give us one more.
What was the name of the majorettes?
The majorettes.
Oh. I don't know.
Do you have a clue?
No, I have no idea.
Was it can't
Popular
be
TV
this-
show.
Oh.
The Seinfelds?
You nailed it.
The Simpsons?
Yeah, how'd you know?
It wasn't the Eagleettes or something like that. Like
The
Wait.
Golden Girls.
really?
Golden
I wasn't
That
too
makes
far
sense.
off.
I did not know
There
that.
you go. That makes sense.
The Golden Girls.
And they wore gold bodysuits and beehive hairdos.
Okay.
Do they still have the Tietes here?
No.
I
No.
wanted to be a Tiet when I was a
I
little
remember
girl.
them.
And
No, they have the flag
Just like
girls
that.
with the band. Yeah, the flag girls with the band. They
Yeah, what
have
were they
that still.
called?
Well, they're called. Well,
The Flagmenteers?
no, they're called. Well, they're called
made
the
up a weirdest
TSA,
name.
the Terrier Sound Auxiliary is what they call them now. But we used to always call them glitter because they had an enormous amount of glitter on. But they hate being called that, so you're not supposed to do that.
Astronaut has a feature twirler now too.
she's
Oh, do they really?
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
A featured
Maddie
twirler?
dances with her. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Astronauts stepped their game up. Why isn't Titusville? Come on.
I don't know. Talk to Schwinn.
She even
That
has
is-
fire.
Oh, does she
Uh-huh.
really?
What?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, we're getting ready to play you guys at your
Yes,
place.
next week, next Friday.
Yeah, next Friday. Yeah.
So you'll
I
be
might
able
have to come out of that one.
You'll be able to. Yes, that would be
Yeah.
awesome, and you'll be able to see her.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Thank you so much for joining us today. Does Astronaut have a website?
We do.
Okay, tell us.
It is astronaut at astronaut.brevardschools.org.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Really appreciate it. Cindy, Bill. Awesome.
Frank.
As always. Yeah. Thank you again. Really appreciate you guys appreciate you being here with us. Guys, I guess that's the end of our show for today. We will see you guys next week. Who in the world do we have on next week?
I don't know.
That
Somebody will be here.
Frank, I just wait for your email
Yes.
every week.
No, I'm
so
curious about
when
who
you
we actually have
when you
on.
send them out of order, it really throws me off.
Yeah, if you send it to me on Tuesday, then I'll know.
We have Chief Lau on next week.
Oh,
see,
okay,
I knew
there we
that.
go.
So, yeah,
I just
I
want to
knew-
come
I
back
knew
and
that.
listen. This is great.
Yeah, by all means, you're welcome
It's
here
fun
anytime.
and great.
Yeah, we'd love to have you back on again sometime
Awesome.
for sure.
Thank you.
again, yep, see y'all next week, and have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, have a good weekend. See y'all next time. Bye-bye.